We're going to do a practice to use the human IK, and normally that comes with this just icon. If you click on the upper right corner, or you can also under your rigging menu set, you can just call it here. And normally the window comes with a series of options to create or to import some samples of IKs that will allow you to work with your character. Of course, you want to make sure that your character has no history, um, no no problems with. Let me see. I'm trying to get my channel box there. There's my channel box. So no history behind it, and all of it. I just need actually to. This one actually has the blend shapes attached to it, as I have a little history there. But other than that, it's pretty much all of it clean. And we are going to start by, when I just go to the front view so I have a better way to look at it. Actually, let me split the screen two better. So this one is going to be my perspective view, and that one is going to be my front view. And we're going to start by just creating a skeleton. And by default, it just gives a skeleton that you can decide if that's working for you or not in terms of the basics. But it's good. It comes with a lot of um, features that a regular human um, character will need. Let me just try to do my X-ray to look at it. And what we just need to do here is to define certain things such as the number of joints that you want to have in the spine, the scale. So if your character is smaller than the actual scale, since we model our character at 1:1 scale, we don't seem to be needing to change scale. If you have a character that's smaller than that, you just change the scale to the value that you need to work on. Let me see if I can just type that number there, zero point 0.5, and that scale was went down and actually just changed again. I'm just gonna undo that, and what I'm gonna need is I need just to adjust some of the structural things that I want it to have. For example, I want it to have probably more joints. I'm gonna give it 5 joints for her spine. That way they got added there. Um, you can have 1 or 2 joints for her neck. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an extra joints for the head. You have to just rig those yourself. And they have the hips and knees, and you can also uh, consider adding extras for the legs. So let me try to first, before adding anything, I'm gonna start posing. I'm gonna go to the side view here actually, and start posing those joints so that they make some more sense from the different views. So I am going to bring down the root joint and trying to locate the hips where they need to be located. Let me just see the wireframe unshaded there. I'm gonna just get this one wireframe unshaded, that way I can see that, and I can see that my underwear line is right where my hips are, and I'm gonna grab that guy. Let me just turn off geometry here so I don't select it, and I'm gonna push back her spine a little bit, and I'm gonna push forward and up actually her knees. I'm going to be working on her right leg. Make sure you don't move it on the horizontal, so you keep the leg straight. Same deal as we did before. I'm going to just move actually the leg in a little bit so that I can try to get the knee sort of centered and sort of the center of the joints. Notice I don't want to move the foot either, so that I can keep that straight line. And I'm going to push this one forward to bend the knee a little bit to match the body, and then I'm gonna move the ankle there. I'm gonna move this one, which is the ball joint, to where suggest the bending of the front toes, and I'm gonna try to add here a some joints for her toes. And for that, I'm going to decide if I want to add a keep the toe base, and probably the best option right now is going to be to do a middle toe, so that gives me a an extra joint. I'm gonna try to grab that one move it forward a little bit, and then bring this one back there. And I just want to make sure that in the front view they are aligned so that my foot, at least the rotations, seem to be a little more precise. With that, I think I have a good foot to go with. Now I'm just gonna just save your scene there, and now I'm going to work. I'm working only on one side because, as you already can imagine, we're gonna mirror this. So I'm going to go to my perspective view for a moment here, and I need to look at her arms, and of course we need to bring down her spine some more. So, and that might actually give me the chance to reduce the number of her spine joints. So let's try doing that. So I'm actually just bring down those joints of the spine again. Instead of having 5, I'm gonna give it 4, and then I'm gonna bring down some of those guys here. Let me just go here and just bring them all down a little bit. So I kind of selected them all simultaneously. That way they kind of change in the same size. Although this one is a little too, it goes too low actually. So I'm gonna keep it there. Has 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be fine. It's just that I just need to bring these guys down. I bring these two down, the clavicles, and I make sure that they are flat. And then I'm gonna make sure that this one is where I need it to be, which is going to be the neck. But of course, or the end of the spine better. Let me go to the side view just to verify the position of these ones. So I'm gonna just go with this one a little bit more forward and some forward, just to accommodate the placement of the joints based on the geometry. So this one is going to be that collar joint. This one is going to be that neck that I'm going to actually just bring here to where my character's head is going to connect to. Just right there. And I'm going to also correct the placement of the clavicles. Seem to be okay. I'm gonna move it back here, the shoulder some more, and grab the elbow. Bring this one, actually this one, down a little bit. I'm keeping an eye on the actual placement of it, so that I don't move it up and down. Let me go to my perspective view here just to look at it from the top view. Needs some adjustment too. So let's do that from here, top view. So definitely this one has to be pulled back a little bit, and this one has to be pulled back too, and then the next one over has to be pulled down like this and like that. And we need to define if we want to add a couple of roll bones, or just bones to control, the forearm. So I'm gonna just give it maybe 2. That way I'll have a little more control over that forearm, and I'm gonna move this one back a little bit there. Just make sure that it stays on the same axis as the original one. Let me hide the geometry for a moment. So I'm gonna keep it right in the middle, so there is no wobbling of those. And then this one, of course, is the hand that needs to be fine-tuned. So let me just actually do this one in the front view, and actually keep this one here. And I'm gonna start with the thumb, and I'm going to try to place it where and start making sense. Keeping an eye on the location of it from both directions. So just gonna make sure that they're consistent in their placement. Notice I'm not rotating them, I'm just moving them. Alright, I'm gonna just continue doing the placement of those fingers. I'm gonna just place this one and then verify that each one of those will work. This one is a little bit more farther down. It's not right at the knuckle, it's just more like closer to the transition from the knuckle to the finger. Just there. And then this one of course is going to be where that finger is going to bend over, and then this one is going to be just on the other bending point of the finger, and of course the last one is going to be the tip for it. I want to do the side view of it so that I can look at it and fine tune it as much as possible. Okay. Okay, I just went ahead and placed them all in the right location, as close as possible to their bending points. In this case, I have that wrist being there. I don't have any other joint there, just that one that should control the hand in order to move up and down without a problem. And so I have pretty much everything coordinated there. I just need now to make sure that I mirror those, and I just simply with the skeleton selected, I go and click on the mirror joint, mirror tool, so that it takes and all my changes get adapted to the other hand. Just make sure that it took it and did it correctly, and also with the leg, like the toe and the toes were placed. Actually, I'm going to push those toes a little bit back, not do both at the same time. Pull them a little bit back so that I don't have any problems. Alright, so that seems to be the option there. I'm going to actually rename this character. I'm going to call it Sylvia Human IK. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to just increment and save my file, and that's the beginning of just creating that skeleton.